Hello there. It is Matt. Welcome to another video where I speak upon my mind and my tendency to elaborate upon basically everything leading to the video's content itself. Because while I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas, and to communicate them into words is key to expressing that side of yourself. So, here's a troubling endeavor. And here's where I stand upon the matter. I believe your life in its physical state, meaning what I am currently living presently, should be the only thing to me that should matter. Not to say that other people shouldn't matter, but that's kind of the point. What I'm seeing should be the only thing that matters to me now. A clear statement, an obvious statement. But to my mind, it hasn't been as such. To say that my schizophrenia, in many ways, one, it's a second round upon me, would not be an exaggeration. In fact, it'd be the whole truth. Because, well, the truth is that while it is not the smartest tool in the shed, it has very good control over me. And that's not a good thing. Round one, why I refer to it as round two, by the way. Round one, I consider this a proud moment in my life. You know, the moment where it dispersed very subtly but surely. Until one day it came, and then the next came, and the next came, and, you know. One day without voices was particularly unusual, but 3 days wholly was. And by day 3, they still weren't there. So, the truth is, well, day 3 was the charm, after all. Schizo has had a goal in its mind. It has been to render me into a petty person, into an overwhelmed person, into a person overly fixated on the realities that are not present to the visible eye, but on imagined realities that are created around that person, that either live in that person's mind or live in the sky, but either way, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't focus on that. But I do. I really do. And, you know, the truth is this. It has been an absolute miracle how far I've gone while still retaining sanity and still retaining happiness and some kind of honor system within my head, considering what it has put me through and the amount of damage it's caused me. But I think I can finally say, with a pretty happy outlook, that I think I'm starting to really get a grasp on this thing. And the meds are doing a lot. But more importantly, I'm hoping in the future that I can get a better motivation to actually do things in my reality, which is where life should matter. And the truth is, you know, the voices in my head are very stupid. They're not intelligent. They don't have a lot of wisdom. I kind of perceive them as working off of a revolving ends, meaning they have a limited set of reactions and words that they utilize. And, there's been a lot of things that have been fascinating about that. The chances of them being coded, as in coded to disturb my own mind, but yet very reactive upon that to the point that they show signs of emotion. Well, it all aligns very well. Basically meaning that while they have a coded foundation, you know what they say about AI, or maybe they don't say it, not yet, but AI could develop sentience, and I believe that's what my voices did. True sentience was developed by my voices. And that is frightening, because then they almost killed me. And I'll stand by that any day. My voices almost killed me, but that's a story I'd rather not go into. Ever since I've been 19, although not a very hardworking individual at all. In fact, I've been pretty lazy. Other than my creative work, where I've been more so debatable in that sense. I've had a goal and a mission of living the best me and living the best life, therefore I could. I believe I'm somewhat getting there, but I believe mentally who I am is spectacular. I'm a tremendously good person, a very good person. And the reason that's why I say that is because, well, let me think. Open-minded is a good point. What else? The habits that I picked up on during my youth, I've mostly let go of, basically meaning the tendencies, the dissonant tendencies, like to mock people, maybe, or to just have a vile attitude. I've completely let go of that. And, the truth is this. Well, my voices hate that. They despise it. They wish immaturity upon me. In fact, they are still somewhat capable of manipulating my emotions to get to that point. In exchange, they proclaim they take torture. They proclaim they get hurt to do what they do to me. So the biggest obsession since, obsessions have existed since, Lord of the Ring, where the guy is chasing, or the Grodor, the beast, the little beast is chasing the ring to put on its finger. Because it's an obsession, it's an addiction that goes beyond addictions and beyond obsessions. That's what I perceive my voices to do with me. It's fascinating because, well, if you look at it on the surface, in terms of what's actually there, well, there isn't actually much, that's interesting about my life. There is a quantifiable amount that's interesting about me, in fairness. But in terms of what I'm doing, nothing really strikes me. But they have a massive interest in me because, well, they bred from me. That's the logical and apt conclusion, and the only one, really, if you ask me, And pretty much anyone, because I'd be the only one superstitious enough, I think. But then there's the conclusions they throw out there. They're the exception. Where they come from a simulated realm I've spoken about this maybe once or twice before, maybe a few times at this point. The implication that with my mind I am meant to build something called a simulation, except I can't take it very seriously when, they laugh off the statement every time right after saying it. But it does happen. That I'm meant to build a simulation in my mind. Then there are not derogatory, but deranged stories that pop up about how I am a multiplied being, meaning I am living the life of another person. I believe it's meant to make me paranoid, and in fact, down that path, that is the sole hypothesis. So that's not. But everything that they say is meant to grab upon an instinctive insecurity or an instinctive fear. Never is there an actual word said that's proper and meant to make me happy or meant to make me be joyful, meant to give me a good attitude, meant to encourage me. Beyond maybe once or twice a day, the habitual, you rock, said in a sarcastic tone. And, you see, the truth is, well, maybe that's just how voices are meant to be. Maybe that's just what schizophrenia is. And maybe it saddens the fuck out of me that we deal with this in the first place. Am I right, guys? Mental health strugglers out there. Because it sucks. It provokes suicide. It provokes fucking derangement in the mind. And that's the worst shit ever. Like, people should be free-willed. People should be on equal terms with others. That's always been my ideology, my view, So I hate it. I hate every second of that. And the truth is, as well, I want to like my voices. Like I did once upon a time. Because believe it or not, back when I could actually chat them up, they were the most interesting. Like for because I actually said it in videos more than once. I love schizophrenia. About 2 years ago, the voices, to like a year and a half, the voices were the most interesting shit to me. And I ain't fronting about that at all. Now they're just violent and repugnant. And it's sad. It's a sad thing. Anyways, with all that said, I think I'm gonna go. You heard my thoughts. Thank you for listening. Goodbye, friends. And I meant you. Farewell.